Hello, seniors. This is Bob Karras, Lead Rock Metal Fabricators in Hudson. I think a lot of you have been, probably came through our shop at some point in your 4 years at Assabet. Okay, Neil asked me to put together, if I would, some information regarding starting a small business. So I want to pass this along to you. First of all, I started Lead Rock when I was 50 years old, okay? I'm 76, so it's been around for 26 years now from scratch. The reason? I didn't really know what I wanted to do for sure up till then, so I bounced around, made some big mistakes and so on, learned my lesson, and started over. My point here is that you may not know now exactly what you want to do, but down the road, you may find it. It only took me 50 years. And under the circumstances today, we're in difficult territory. I want to pass this along to you, okay? When you start a small business, there are, as I see it, 9 considerations. And what I'm going to do is I wrote them down. This is a recap of what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to send it forward it to Neil, and he can distribute it to you. At some point, I'm going to elaborate on this point by point. Right now, I'm just going to pass it along this way. So, number 1, take a small business course before you do anything else. Okay, this is a simple thing. You got to understand how small business works, the mechanics, the accounting, and the structure. All right, so I strongly suggest that. Number 2 consideration would be marketing strategy considerations. How are you going to put yourself out there? And we found that the best way initially was about local advertising. It was about certain trade journals. It was about website presence. We have a very strong website presence with our website with lots of pictures. And not duplicates, but, you know, things that are always changing, say. So we put a fair number of them up, and it really lends itself to queries. That, as well as repeat business with customers that you've done work for in the past. Geographical competition considerations. How many people are doing what you want to do in your area or neighboring areas? You got to kind of factor all that into the mix based on what you're going to bring to this. Tools and equipment. When I started out, I bought used, and it worked fine. And as I went along, I started to buy newer pieces and some new pieces. And in today's world, I would suggest, looking at used equipment. I think used equipment is going to come down in price over the next few years, given where we are. So start with used equipment. Utilizing local resources. All right. Now, what that refers to is we don't have a water jet. I don't have high definition plasma or anything like it, for one simple reason. Didn't want to tie up that kind of money. You're talking about some serious investment. And the fact of the matter is, all the service centers today who supply materials, if they're any good, they have all those services. So you don't need to bring them on. Or you know other shops that you can work with. And we work with other local shops. Hey, Bob, can you do this for us? Hey, Brad, or so-and-so, can you do this for us? So we go back and forth, okay? They don't have what we have, some of the stuff, and vice versa. So you utilize your local resources. Insurance requirement considerations. That's about personal health, liability, and liability is important because when you go on a job site, that company, or typically that person, is going to ask you, do you have liability insurance? That covers your employees on site, accidents, whatever you might be liable for, and you're going to have to show them certification. So that's there. Now we come down to the really introspective stuff. and that is risk reward. Okay? Risk reward meaning you need to be at some level a risk taker. All right? Because you are taking risks to go into your own business. The rewards are you're working for yourself, it's your game, you're calling the shots the way you want them. All right? So that's the reward. Autonomy is the big deal in this game. Plus, it gives you an opportunity to make a lot more money. You can control your destiny in an easier fashion, it seems to me, if you find the right niche. Okay, 2 more things here, and I'm done. Understand that going into a small business means that at 4 or 5 o'clock, you're not punching out or going home, walking through the door, and it's a whole new world. I tell you, you carry it around with you 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. All right? You run your small business, that follows you around like a shadow. Because you'll see that you have to. You got to be strategizing all the time about everything. All right? Now, I'm not trying to dissuade you. I'm just giving you reality here. And here's a big one. This is the last one. Family life considerations. All right? You go into a small business. You're going to put in a lot of hours. Accept that. That's real. And whoever your partner might be or whoever you're responsible for has got to understand that that's real. I know that in relationships where kids are involved, the way it works today is equal in most, at least that's a scenario that everybody's striving for. And I can tell you right now that if in your own small business, especially at the startup stage and the intermediary stage, you're going to be busy. You're going to be busy. So you've got to make a decision. Is this for you, or are you better off going out and working for someone? There's a lot to be said for that. All right? The end of the day is the end of the day. You don't even have to think about it going forward. It's not your responsibility once you walk out that door. And, you may be able to get your health insurance kicked in part of this, some security, right? Because being an entrepreneur, a small business owner, you're taking risk. So now you've got to just measure, am I up for that? Is that something I want to pursue? Okay, I'm done. I do want to say that what I will do is take my outline here. I'll fill it all in with more detail, basically what we talked about and something more, okay? And in the future, it'll be there for a handout. And if you want to, call me, okay, Bob Karras at Ledrock. You'll see the letterhead here when you get your copy. And I'll be glad to talk with you about anything around this, all right? So stay safe. This is a ridiculous situation, but here we are. And we're all in the same boat. You, me, everybody. So stay well. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.